Hello and welcome back to Let's Build. Today we're building a giant nether portal, and we're going to do it in the region behind our giant evil fortress. So we have a lot of land out here and a lot of options for how we're going to build this nether portal. Initially I wanted to carve it into the cliff face, but then I changed my mind and thought, you know what, let's dig a giant crater. So I'm using World Edit to clear out the land here, and I want a reasonably sized pit, something that I can fill with lava. So again, just using World Edit around the edges to trim things up, paint away the dirt and the grass, smooth things out, and then eventually trim the sides and smooth things over there. Now, with the pit structurally complete, it was time to do some painting. I wanted to paint the bottom of this lake to be obsidian, and then speckle the edges with a mix of obsidian and netherrack. The way I'm doing this is I'm setting my World Edit brushes to be a mix of materials. You can change the percentages as well. You can set it to like 10% obsidian, 90% netherrack if that's what you want. But using those techniques, you can do some really cool things and paint the landscape in some very interesting ways. For example, here, I'm using netherrack and obsidian to paint these really cool, evil-looking tendrils that are reaching out of our pit. They don't just reach up the cliffside, they also reach out around the edges of the pit to try and slowly infect the landscape around where our nether portal is going to be. Now it's back to terraforming. I've put down a giant andesite cuboid behind the cliffs, and this is going to be the base for a giant volcano. Lava is the evil element in our world. It's what's going to power the nether portal and the evil presence within our world. So using dark grey concrete, I started to carve out and terraform this large volcano. I wanted the lava to be dripping out over the top and to drip down the sides as well, collecting in pools here and there along the volcano. But to make things more interesting, I always think it's very important to artificially guide your lava as it flows down the volcano. Once I was happy with how the lava was flowing down the volcano, I started to change the andesite, which is what we changed the concrete powder into. Started to paint in some stone as well. And then also painted down some dirt and some obsidian, just to add to some texture on this volcano. The volcano is always going to be viewed from quite far away, so we really want it to be like a distance figure piece. And now to see what the volcano looks like at night, and as you can see, it looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with how we have the lava flowing all the way down the volcano to what's eventually going to be our lava pit. So now that we have the volcano and the tendrils reaching out from this pit, you can see also what I've done is I've tinkered with the biomes around the edge of this pit to make the grass near to the pit be a desert biome, and that gives it a faded look that makes it look like evil is really infecting this land. So I used water because it flows quickly and it's better to kind of start with as a base. Then I changed the water into lava, and then I changed all of the lava into a mix of 50% lava, 50% air. And what that gives us is a really cool and interesting texture over the top of the lava that makes it look much better, especially from a distance. And I'm very happy with that effect. So now we have the lava complete, the volcano kind of done, and all of our terraforming in the bag. It's time to start thinking about how we're going to design the Nether portal. So 2 big things. Number 1 is I wanted to build like a smaller test build, a prototype. And that's why we're using over here on the Evil Fortress, what used to be the Mooncatcher, we're repurposing it into a smaller prototype Nether portal. But also what's important about this is we're trying to weave a bit of story into this. Why is the Nether portal there, and who built it in the first place? And so something I'm tinkering with is the idea that there's an evil mage or wizard. There's some evil dudes in this evil fortress, and they wanted to bring more evil into this land. So they needed to build a giant Nether portal. To do that though, first they needed to build a smaller prototype, and that's what we've repurposed this Mooncatcher to be. So we've made the Mooncatcher 3 blocks thick. This way we can put the portal blocks on the middle, on the inside. And we're decorating the edge with red netherrack bricks and steps. And using these cool kind of chambers for lava. I'm using red glass and filling it with lava to make these lava tanks on the top and side of the portal. And then because it's a symmetrical build, we can copy and paste it and flip it over to the other side. And there we go, we have our small prototype portal. All that's left is to ignite it and put in some portal blocks. Before we do that though, we need a block to change, so I filled the inside with this purple concrete, and that gives us an idea of the surface and what it's going to look like, kind of. Then I changed that purple concrete into Nether portal blocks. However, I had a problem that they were facing the wrong way. But that's an easy enough fix in World Edit. I switched them around to face the right way. And you can see here the finished prototype product. And I think it looks very cool when the sun shines through it, and everything through these blocks looks like it's like a deep purple. It's very cool. Now, with the landscaping done, we can start to get to the actual building. You can see here a template for what's going to be a bridge. That's going to be what links the land to the portal itself. But before we start to build that bridge, I wanted to have some extra structures next to the portal. I thought that having a couple of towers either side of the gate to hold it up would look really, really cool. And plus it would also be a way to power the gate. So I started to lay down a design for an evil looking tower. I wanted to use nether brick, but to give the towers contrast, I used some stone brick to outline the edges and the detail. And I used a lot of stone brick stairs, and they really helped make the design look spiky and evil. So the inside of the tower is going to have a core of red glass. And I think with lava behind the glass, it'll help light the towers up at night, but it also gives it a really cool evil look. And also the lava is pretty important because we've got a theme that it's going to be lava that powers our actual nether portal. Once I was happy with how the tower was looking, I moved it over to the side and out of the way, just so that I had more room to work with. Because now it's time to build the platform. So the platform is pretty important to the build. I didn't want to have just another nether brick tower holding up the portal. I mean, that would be easy to do, but I wanted to give something a bit different for this. So what I went for is like a floating platform that's going to be held up by 3D versions of the evil tendrils that you can see behind on the mountainside. And these were a lot of fun to do. Painting with World Edit isn't really something I usually do. It's quite tricky, a bit more artistic. So doing this has given me the confidence, actually, to go bigger in future with some more organic ideas. I mean, for example, I was thinking that now that we have the evil portal in place, maybe we could create a giant sea monster in the waters nearby. And we can use this method to have giant tentacles and things reaching out from the sea. So the bridge we're building here is going to be relatively simple. Just like with the towers, I used nether brick and stone brick to keep it looking evil and on theme. I kept the style of the tower design and used that same design on big pillars that are going to hold up the bridge and keep it from falling into the lava. And also the undercarriage of the tower is pretty important too. It's not super detailed, but it's good enough. With also some spiky decorations along the sides of the bridge. So another thing I wanted to add to this bridge is some open flame. I really like the idea of braziers on our evil fortress. They looked really cool. So I brought that idea over to the bridge and kind of cased in some flames so you can just see the tips of the fire leaking out. And they had a bit of smoke and a bit more of like a visceral lighting feel. So with the main bridge detail done, I wanted to add a couple of longer supports either side near the platform. And having these here is going to give a slight illusion that the tower gets a bit wider as you get closer to the portal. So I really like the effect of campfire smokes in chimneys in houses. We've used a few of them in previous builds. I think they're a great addition, and I think it's going to look really cool when the portal is in place. So now I wanted to find the middle of the platform and move the first tower into position nearby. You can see there's like a ring of stone brick, and the idea is the lava is going to be pumped through that from the tower, and maybe inside the tower it gets imbued with some evil energy or some evil magic, and then piped from the tower into the portal. One thing I wanted to do as well is to use the lava and water helix design that we had on the Evil Fortress. I mean, again, so many of the things that we're building on the Evil Fortress, if that was kind of the prototype, then this is like the bigger, bolder version. These towers are very fat, and they're so fat indeed that they can house, I think, 4 lava helixes. So I built 4 frames for some DNA-style lava helixes out of red glass. And once they were in position and all the blocks in place, I put down some water and some lava, but the water through red glass looks kind of invisible. So I replaced that water with lava, and I'm still happy with the design of that. I'm also really happy with the way that the lava flows and corkscrews down through the tower now. So I capped that off and started to work on connecting the tower to the platform. I spent a while getting the pipes just right, because I need the pipes to be functional so that lava can actually fit through them. That's going to be very important for the lighting and overall look. With the tops of the towers, I feel like they're a little bit flat, and also the height of the tower is a little bit low. Especially if this is going to try and frame the portal build. So I continued to build upwards, but I wanted these towers to be a bit more evil looking in their design. So I wanted the top to have a spiky kind of rooftop, not a roof that you'd see on other castles that we have around the build. But more like a spire that reaches up really high to the heavens. And I went for a more hollow look with this, so that I can again use lava on the internals, and you can see through the spire, and the lava inside will help light it up. Now, with the spire design copied over to the other tower, it's portal time. I didn't just want a circular portal. Circles are very cool, but the width is tied to the height, so I couldn't get a big enough portal if I went for a circular design. So why not paste 2 circles together? And you can see there's 2 white circles pasted together, so they kind of look like a giant peanut. The peanut portal. Don't want to misspeak that one. Anyway, I made the circles flat, rotated them, and put them into place so that I could start building the portal itself around them. So the circles, or the peanut, if you will, are going to be turned into portal blocks. They are the actual portal itself. So I started to build the frame around those blocks, and I kept the same design that we have over on the prototype, which is a mix of stone brick on the outside and nether brick for the detail. Also, we need lava tanks just like the prototype. But with the prototype, the smaller portal, the tanks had to be really big because of the way lava works. And they kind of looked a bit out of place because of that. They looked bolted on. So instead of a couple of big tanks, we're going to try and have a lot more smaller tanks surrounding the portal itself. Now, time to fill the portal with lava. So I spilled a little bit of it, but I do love the way it drips down. In Timelapse, it looks like it's a kind of stop motion animation. Then, after a little work on the stairs around the base, let's turn those white blocks into the finished portal. Bam! And look, that deep, rich purple. Oh man, the lighting effects on the blocks through the portal just look so frickin' cool. Finally, evil encroaches on the land. The dark dream of the warlocks is realized, from humble small nether portal to giant doorway to the void. Evil is now ready to pour into this realm, rampaging through our kingdom unless brave heroes rise to confront it. Oh man, that sounds like a badass movie intro. Anyway, it's been fun to do this bigger, longer build, and this opens the door, so to speak, to more evil builds in the future in this world. So hit like if you enjoyed the build, subscribe to see more, and until next time, take care.